So exactly how do you create an offer that sells, especially if you're an online business owner, a service provider, a coach in any capacity, and you operate your business solely online or a majority of the part of your operations are online? How do you create an offer that really resonates with your people? That's what we're going to be diving into today. If you're brand new to me, welcome everyone. My name is Jen Dice. I am a Pinterest and marketing strategist. And today we're going to talk about a few tips of how to create an offer for your online business. So typically an offer is when we package together, it's just beyond the actual like product or service that we are providing. An offer is a little bit more all encompassing, and it really helps you as the business owner to outline exactly what the outcome, the results, and the benefits are that are going to be transformative for the person who is your customer who is going to be purchasing that offer. So I'm going to talk to you today and give you 3 tips on how to create an offer for your online business. And this is pretty basic, just getting started, things to sort of think about, things to get you started with creating an offer for your online business. So tip number 1, when you're looking at creating an offer for your customers, is to know the problem you solve and where your customer is at. So it's one thing for you to offer a service, to offer a coaching package, to offer a solution, but you have to know the underlying problem that you solve. You have to be able to step into the shoes of your customer and also know where they're at, where they're coming through, what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they're going through, what is going on in their world, and how can you then better, I guess, craft an offer that's going to speak to the problem that you solve. So this problem could be, it can be anything, but it's looking outside of what you think the problem is and more looking directly at your customer and how they are actually describing their problem, talking about their problem. Are they aware that this is their problem? Are they talking around it? So figuring out how your customer is talking about their problem, and then also figuring out where they're at. So if you are creating an offer, and you're targeting people, let's say your offer is more like done for you, it is higher level, more higher ticket, you're going to struggle to then translate that to somebody who is just starting that discovery process, just trying to figure out where they're at and how to just start looking into solutions to this problem. They're just beginning their journey towards finding solutions. And for you to speak to that person when they're early on in their discovery process, in their customer journey, it's going to be harder for them to make that jump from just beginning, just learning about how to solve the problem. And maybe they're going to be more apt to try to solve it on their own versus making the jump and the leap and totally trusting you and investing in your higher ticket, like coaching package, one-on-one coaching, done for you services, those types of things, those higher level services. Especially if it's somebody that is just meeting you for the first time, it's cold traffic. That's a bigger gap that you have to bridge. So just understanding how your person is going to talk about their problem and then where that customer is at in their journey is my tip number 1. Tip number 2, determine what solution makes the most sense. So what is going to be a no-brainer for your customer? So let's say you offer those higher level services, you offer the coaching, and now you're looking at creating an offer for somebody that maybe is a little earlier on in their journey. You're not expecting the person that just joins your Facebook group to then purchase your high ticket, like mastermind or whatever you have offered at a higher level. You're focused on what does that person need who is, number 1, just new to my world and just learning about me and just building this relationship with me. What can I give them? That's a no-brainer. And then number 2, also thinking about where they're at in their journey. Are they earlier on that now they're open to like learning from you, hearing from you? Or are they completely cold? They've never met you before. So kind of thinking through where that person is in relation to you, and then what type of an offer would be a complete no-brainer. So for people that are completely cold to you, they've never met you before, something on the free side is likely going to be more of a no-brainer. It's going to be a lot harder to bridge the gap of somebody even just to pull out to pay you $7 for something when they've never met you before, because it's still that same psychology we have to go through to actually pull out a credit card and give you that information. Even though it's a $7 thing, it's that same process that somebody has to go through. They have to go through it for $7. They have to go through it for $57, for $100. It's the same process they have to go through. So they have to know you to some extent to trust you with that information, because they're giving you more than just their email address. They're giving you more information, and that requires a level of trust, even for a few dollars. So if it's a colder traffic, they've never met you, something that's free and it's high value, that is going to be a no-brainer, easy yes for somebody. Somebody that's already in your world, you've already given them the free value. Maybe they're in your Facebook group, they're on your email list, you're talking to them on a consistent basis, you're showing up for them, you're building that relationship with them. That easy yes is going to be something on that lower ticket side. And all the while still trying to grow that relationship with somebody so that they take that next step with you. So that is my second tip, is just determining what solution makes the most sense. And that is a no-brainer for your person. Tip number 3 is determining the next steps for your customer. So what are their next steps going to be? So if you're looking at, let's say we are talking to somebody that's never met you before, and we've determined that a no-brainer offer would be something of high value that is free, but like requires like an email address, like an opt-in type of a thing, whether that is a video series training, whether that is something that they can easily download, a free checklist, a free roadmap, a free guide, something along those lines. That's kind of what their first yes is going to be a part of your world. They aren't necessarily a paid customer yet, but they are a potential customer in your world. So what is the next steps for that person? So somebody that opts in for free, what is the next step for them? What container are you showing up in, or what platform are you showing up in, or in what way are you showing up that you can build that relationship for them? It can be on your email list where you're showing up for them 1, 2, or multiple times a week, giving them value. That could be where you continue to show up, add value, and then continue to make those next level offers to them that are paid. Or maybe you run a group, a Facebook community, another community that's off of Facebook. Maybe you have a Slack channel, and you're building a community in a sense, and it's a free community. So that's where you want them to then take that next step to become a part of your community. Could be free, could be paid. Again, it really depends on how your business is structured. So then where that would be another logical next step for them to continue to get to know you, so that you can then continue to make that next step offer to them. And then ultimately over time, the goal is to kind of walk with them, give them what they need, and maybe they will, maybe they won't ultimately become that next higher level client where they're paying you for the one-on-one coaching. They're in your mastermind, they're in your group program. They're more of a long-term invested client in you. Some people will, some people won't, but they're always going to be a part of your world. So kind of figuring out what is that next step for your customer. So I hope these tips were helpful. Just to recap on just how to create an offer for your online business that really resonates with your people is tip number 1 is to know the problem that you solve and where your customer is at. Remember, we're not trying to serve or solve high ticket problems to somebody that's just starting out on this discovery process in their journey, and they're not ready for that yet. Tip number 2 is to determine what solution makes the most sense and is a no-brainer for your people. What is the easiest yes for them? Whether that's free, whether that's low ticket or paid, what is that easy yes for that person, depending on where you're at and who you're talking to and where they're at in their customer journey. And tip number 3 is to determine the next best step for your customers. If it's a free thing that they are opting in for, what is the next best step for them for you to continue to build that relationship? That would be potentially like engaging with them through your email channels or through any other communities that you are building, and then determining what that next level maybe offer would be for them, and that next step with you and working with you is. So I hope this was helpful. If you have questions at all, please feel free to drop them below. And if you get a minute, please like this video, subscribe, hit the subscribe button below. That way, when I come out with new trainings every week right now, you will get the little notification when I have got more content for you and more valuable tips for you. And then as always, you can engage with me. I have my free Pinterest Kickstart guide linked below. And if you want to come into my community, I have the link for my free Facebook group below as well. So thank you again so much for joining me this week. And I look forward to talking to you again next week. Until then, I will see you guys later. Bye, everybody.